Welcome to this explainer. If you're running an e-commerce or physical goods business in Tennessee, we really need to talk about a hidden leak in your operations. I'm talking about double taxation. Today, we're going to completely master the Tennessee Resale certificate so we can keep you compliant and, more importantly, keep your profit margins exactly where they belong.
I want you to think about your current setup for just a second. Are you paying sales tax on the inventory you buy from your suppliers, only to turn around and charge sales tax again when you sell it to your end consumer? Because if you're buying inventory without a Tennessee Resale certificate, you're quite literally giving away your profit right from the jump. It's a massive drain on your capital, and honestly, it makes it incredibly difficult to maintain competitive pricing in today's market.
But don't worry, we're going to fix that right now. Today's roadmap covers intro and eligibility, required documentation, the application process, common pitfalls, compliance, and wrap-up resources. We're going to cut right through the state's bureaucracy and unlock those tax-free inventory purchases.
Okay, Section 1, Intro and Eligibility. Let's figure out who actually needs this certificate to stay competitive.
So the really crucial point here is that Tennessee doesn't actually issue a standalone resale certificate that you go out and apply for separately. I know, it sounds a little counterintuitive. Instead, the official document, which is known as Form RVF130701, is automatically generated the moment you successfully register for a state sales and use tax account. You absolutely have to register for this account if you sell, lease, or rent tangible personal property, or if you provide taxable services in the state. Once you're set up, this certificate is your shield against double taxation at the wholesale level.
And this is where things get just a little bit nuanced with Tennessee's thresholds. You essentially have to balance your state tax accounts with your local business licenses. To get your sales tax account, which, remember, is what gives you the resale certificate, you need to average more than $400 a month or $4,800 a year in gross sales of goods. For services, that threshold is $1,200 a year. Now, thanks to the recent Tennessee Works Tax Act, local business licenses have shifted a bit. If your gross receipts fall between $3,000 and $100,000, you need a $15 minimal activity license from your local clerk. Over $100,000, you need a standard business license. But remember, it's that free state sales tax account that actually unlocks your resale certificate. Moving on to Section 2, Documentation. Let's get your business info perfectly organized before we apply.
You'll want to gather these specific items before you even sit down at your computer. You're going to need your federal EIN, which, by the way, is always free from the IRS, or your social security number if you're a sole proprietorship. You'll also need your legal business name, a physical location address, and, please pay attention here, P.O. boxes are strictly prohibited for this. You'll also need your NAICS code and your estimated monthly sales. But here's a massive pitfall that trips up a lot of people. Your application must be signed directly by an owner, officer, partner, or member. If you have your third-party accountant or bookkeeper sign it, the state will absolutely reject it as invalid, and that's just going to delay your certificate.
Section 3, the application process. Let's talk about actually registering on the state portal.
What's really great is that this process is entirely digital and designed to be knocked out in one sitting. You simply navigate over to the Tennessee Taxpayer Access Point. We call it TNTAP for short, and you click Register a New Business right on the homepage. You'll fill out Form RV-F1300-5001 by dropping in all that data we just gathered. Review every field carefully, hit Submit, and usually you can print your official certificate of registration and your blanket certificate of resale straight from your TNTAP portal within 1 to 2 business days. It really is that fast.
And honestly, the best part? Establishing this sales and use tax account and securing your resale certificate is going to cost you absolutely $0 in state registration fees. There is no application fee, no renewal fee for the sales tax account in Tennessee. It's a completely free way to structurally reduce your operating costs.
Let's jump to Section 4, Pitfalls and Examples. We need to set up some guardrails to help you avoid an audit. You can exclusively use this certificate to buy goods that you genuinely intend for resale. So, for example, if you run a boutique, you can buy your clothing inventory tax-free. If you manufacture furniture, you can buy the raw lumber tax-free. But you absolutely cannot use this certificate to dodge sales tax on items your business consumes. Trying to use it to buy your own office printer, new store shelving, or a fancy coffee machine for the break room is strictly prohibited. That is a massive red flag for auditors. Don't do it. Now, what if you're an out-of-state e-commerce seller doing business in Tennessee? Well, I have some fantastic news for you. Tennessee recently repealed Sales and Use Tax Rule 96. In the past, if you wanted a Tennessee supplier to drop ship an item directly to a Tennessee customer, you were actually forced to register for a Tennessee sales tax ID. Not anymore. Today, you can facilitate those drop shipments using a valid resale certificate from your home state or streamlined sales tax certificate without ever having to register a physical nexus in Tennessee. It is a huge win for interstate commerce.
All right, Section 5, Compliance. Getting the certificate is great, but maintaining your active status is what keeps you safe.
Let's look at your ongoing responsibilities here. First off, you do not submit the resale form to the state when you buy something. You hand it directly to your suppliers. You have to fill it out completely, which includes your specific Tennessee sales tax registration number, and you must select one of the 4 exemption categories: standard resale, manufacturing component, leasing, or a Rule 68 direct pay permit. Also remember that $4,800 annual revenue minimum we discussed earlier? You have to maintain that minimum, otherwise the Department of Revenue can straight up revoke your registration. And finally, if your business name or address changes, you are on the hook to provide updated certificates to all of your suppliers. Let's see how this all builds into real legal accountability. Vendors are legally required to exercise ordinary care when accepting these certificates from you. If a transaction isn't supported by a properly completed certificate, it's treated as a normal retail sale, and the vendor is liable for the tax. But on the buyer side, if you knowingly misuse the certificate to evade your tax obligations, that is a Class C misdemeanor. You're looking at a revoked registration, retroactive taxes on all those purchases, plus interest and fines. So for sure, always play by the rules.
Section 6, Resources and Wrap-Up. Let's establish exactly where you can get help when you need it.
If you run into any technical issues trying to print your certificate from the TNTAP portal, or if you somehow lose your document, the Tennessee Department of Revenue is your ultimate authority and your best resource for support. You can reach their Taxpayer Services Division directly at 615-253-0600. They're literally there to help ensure you get set up correctly. Just a quick heads up before we finish, please remember that this explainer is intended for general educational purposes only. The tax landscape can be incredibly complex and highly specific to your unique situation, so nothing here should be considered formal legal, tax, or financial advice. You should always consult a qualified tax professional or CPA regarding your specific business operations.
So, what does this all mean for you? Now that you hold the complete roadmap to securing your Tennessee resale certificate, it is time to actually take action. Get your documentation in order, head over to TNTAPE, and protect those profit margins. Really think about it. If you could reclaim every single dollar you've been losing to double taxation, how much faster could your business grow this year?